sold-out crowd in Houston, Texas, as their 10-1 Cougars in a huge game in the American Conference host 15th ranked 9-1, the Midshipmen of Navy. And part of what makes this game so big in this American Conference, the winner of this one earns a spot in the conference title game, perhaps with a chance then to play in a New Year's Six game if they could win that one. And hi, everybody. Dave Fleming alongside Mac Brown and Allison Williams. Great to have you with us on the Friday after Thanksgiving. So much expectation, so much excitement leading into this game. Folks around Navy were not into hyperbole, calling this game the biggest football game for Navy since the 1963 Cotton Bowl when Roger Staubach was a Heisman-winning quarterback for Navy. We don't know about that for sure. What we do know is Navy has a chance to play in their first major bowl game since that 1963 season. If they're going to get there, they're going to ride their senior star, Keenan Reynolds.
Well, this is huge, and that game did happen to be in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. So welcome back to Texas. Navy. They do play Army. They do play Air Force. They do play Notre Dame. And they have had a tremendous year, a lot of fun, mainly because of Keenan Reynolds. They've got 10 seniors on offense, but Keenan Reynolds is tough. He's smart. He's a great leader. But let's look at what he's accomplished, Dave. This is unbelievable. 82 rushing touchdowns, NCAA record. 82 total touchdowns, second in FBS history. I mean, as we look at these numbers, we are in for a real treat today because we're looking at one of the best football players for his team, a guy that may end up in New York as we watch this game today following Keenan Reynolds.
The winner of this game will play for that conference championship against either Temple or South Florida. And the winner of this game will also host that conference championship with a great chance then to play in a New Year's Six bowl game.
Yeah, Dave, technically this is a playoff game in modern-day college football. You win today, you advance to the championship game next week. If you're Navy and you win the next two, then you've still got to play Army. But one of these teams could end up in one of those final big bowl games, which would be special for either of these teams.
Navy won the toss. They have deferred, so Houston's going to get the ball first. And Austin Grebe, the place kicker, a low line drive kick, sort of muffed at the goal line. But Brandon Wilson's going to bring it out across the 10 with a burst of speed. Gets upended, though, outside the 15 to the 17-yard line. Let's send it down to the sidelines and welcome in our broadcast partner, Allison Williams.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Mac. Ready to take the field. Houston's dynamic dual threat quarterback, Greg Ward Jr. He injured his ankle 2 weeks ago against Memphis, was held out against UConn, but did come in on the final possession of the game only to throw an interception. I talked to him. He said his ankle is 110%, that he was not limited in practice and did not receive any extra treatment on the ankle. His coaches, however, will say he's closer to 85%, and that it becomes an issue when he looks to really dig that foot in to push off it and cut. So while it shouldn't be an issue throwing the ball, something to keep an eye on when he does run it.
All right, thanks, Allison. We talk a lot about, deservedly so, Keenan Reynolds. Greg Ward Jr. has had a tremendous year for Houston. They're happy to have him back. He'll complete his first pass of the game to the right side on a nice move upfield. Breaking tackles, DeMarcus Ayers outside the 35 to the 37-yard line. A gain of 19 on the first play from scrimmage. He is, Coach, one of your impact players.
DeMarcus Ayers is a guy that can touch the ball as a running back, a receiver in the slot. He's going to make yards, but he's going to have to beat Will Anthony, number 90. A guy that had 8 tackles last week against Tulsa and 3 sacks.
Well, the Navy defense has played very well this year. The quarterback completes his second pass of the game, this time to Chance Allen, coming off the best game of his college career last week in the loss at UConn. Stopped short of a first down, but a gain of 8.
Well, and Houston's going after Brendan Clemens immediately, a junior that's the best cornerback for the Navy football team.
And Houston is a different team with Greg Ward Jr. at quarterback. He'll bring Brandon Wilson into the backfield. Now, that's another big story. Their running back group is so beat up. Wilson breaks a tackle but can't get away from a second and third tackler, and he loses yardage on that second down play. Amos Mason led the way. Another one of those defensive linemen. Mac was just talking about that group. Brandon Wilson, who was a starter and a star at defensive back. They are so thin at running back. He is going to be one of their primary running backs in this game. He hasn't played running back all season.
No, that's a special story, and credit to the Houston coaches that they can be diverse enough to just move a guy over for this game.
With Wilson in the backfield, they will swing it out to the right side. That pass complete. It'll be enough for a first down. Not by much. DeMarcus Ayers turns it upfield. talking about how disciplined, which is no surprise if you know anything about the Naval Academy or these kids, but so highly ranked in so many of those categories in the FBS. Fewest penalty yards per game, penalties per game. They take care of the ball. They do not beat themselves. Some pressure coming. Ward will start to scramble. He's going to throw downfield, and the pass is caught. Caught at the 20 for a first down and more. DeMarcus Ayers.
Guys are coming inside on the blitz. They lose contain at the bottom. I think now we know Greg's ankles well.
Ward with some more pressure. Ward gets away from Anthony. Dumps it short, complete, and that'll be a first down. A big hit inside the 10. But Stephen Dunbar hangs on. Ward got away from the sack, made a play with his feet. It's a first and goal for Houston.
Good job again by Greg moving outside. Greg Ward, he got pressure with Will Anthony up inside. He gets outside. He hits a completion to Dunbar. And what a lick by Clements and Gonzalez from Navy.
First and goal, option style play. Ward picking his way forward, and he got crunched at the 5. Bernard Serra, who is, I think in a lot of ways, Mac, he is like the Keenan Reynolds on the defensive side of the ball. He's the vocal leader. He rallies everybody on that side, made the tackle.
Coach has told us he and Keenan Reynolds have the pulse of this team.
Ward all alone in shotgun. They'll take the snap. Quick release, fade toward the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown. Stephen Dunbar. And Houston scores first. Now they'll take a look to confirm, but Dunbar had it and got the feet down.
Dave, really good play call again. You're putting 6'3" on 5'10", 5'11" when you look at Quincy Adams, the defensive back for Navy. He's 5'11", 200. He's a senior. Spread them out, get one-on-one situations, and win the one-on-one.
And another third down. They were 4 for 4 on that drive. Extra point is up, and it is good. Houston 10-1. Trying to hand Navy their first conference loss. And an impressive opening drive. Ward to Dunbar, touchdown Cougars. It's 7-0 Houston. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams from Houston, Texas, where the homestanding Cougars, impressive start. They go down the field 82 yards in 13 plays, score a touchdown on 3rd and goal, and they lead the 15th ranked Midshipmen of Navy 7-0. Navy has not touched the ball yet, so Houston, after the touchdown drive, took more than 5 minutes. They will kick it deep, and the Midshipmen will have the ball for the first time.
Just what the doctor ordered for Houston on senior day. Tough game with UConn last week. Short week, but they've heard about the UConn game all week. Came ready to play today.
Now this kickoff right near the goal line will be taken by Navy and returned across the 15 to the 20 and outside near the 25. Dyson Romine with the return, and now the senior record-setting quarterback Keenan Reynolds comes on the field for the first time.
He is the guy. He's the star. He's the leader. You'd love to have a guy like this leading our country, Dave, and that's what Navy's all about. But he's tough because he's been healthy. He runs the ball as much as anybody in college football history, and he keeps making plays on the field. He's a great leader and be fun to watch today.
And, of course, Navy does run that triple option, which is so different from almost any other offensive system we see week to week. Not easy to prepare for.
Started an unbalanced line to the left. He checks about every play. He usually checks run to run, trying to get him in the best play.
They will fake the dive. Reynolds keeps it on first down. A nice gain, and then some. To midfield, Reynolds to the 30. Down the sideline, finally pushed out of bounds. Inside the 25, they'll spot him at the 24. What a start for Keenan Reynolds today.
We knew this is the guy. We looked unbalanced left. He checks back to the short side where he's got the most of the field. The defensive player misses Keenan. You can't do that. He's fast. He's elusive. Great first play for Navy.
52 yards on the first run of the game. Reynolds will throw the ball. I think that was a backwards pass out to the edge, and nice yardage inside the 20. He did step out around the 20. Dyson Romine, who's got a lot of speed on the corner.
Dave, people who think Navy do not have athletes, watch this young guy in space. He's really fast, and Houston can run. Well, this guy's just as fast as those guys chasing him. Navy has some really good football players, so don't think this is just a farce that they've won this many games.
And I think they did officially consider that a rushing play, not a pass play. It was close. It's 2nd and 5, and it is loud. Sellout crowd, 40,000 plus, standing room only. Faking the dive, Reynolds takes a pop. He got 2.
Reynolds is 5'11", 205 pounds, and he turns up inside. Matthew Adams is a really good football player at linebacker for Houston. In fact, really impressed with Roberts, with Taylor, and with Adams for the Houston linebackers, and they're going to have to be the run stoppers today if they're going to contain Navy. Fans get used to this. They're going to check every time, just about. Sometimes they'll check from a pass to a run. It's normally run to run. Big 3rd down.
3rd and 3. Reynolds. Fake dive. He'll keep it. Reynolds, 1st down and more. Inside the 10. Inside the 5. It's 1st and goal, Navy. Adrian McDonald saved the touchdown with the tackle, but 13 yards for Reynolds.
Once again, counter option. He fakes to the big man up inside. He's got his wing back coming around. Nobody takes the quarterback. He's in the secondary. Now it's 1st and goal inside the 5.
He just makes the right decision in that triple option every time.
Coaches are helping him. A lot of times he'll do it himself. They're trying to get the best running play. It's not a complicated offense. Go to the best play.
Swain, handoff. Swain, touchdown. So he finally did give it to the big fullback, who is huge, who is powerful, and Chris Swain punches it in. Navy's an extra point away from tying this game.
245-pound senior just pounding up inside. When we talked to their defensive players, they said this is the most important player other than the quarterback today, because Houston has to stop the fullback before they can get inside out to the quarterback in the option. And he ran right over Roberts, who is the best player on that Houston defense.
Extra point up and good. They waited the whole drive to give it to Swain. Finally they did. He punches it in. We've got a tie game. 11 a.m. local kickoff time here from Houston. If there's one team in college football not fazed by the early kick, the Midshipmen. 0600 wake-up time every day, so Navy was ready to go. And an impressive answer. I think, Coach, we're going to have a heck of a game. Houston scores on their first drive. Keenan Reynolds and Navy, they answer 7-7 as the Midshipmen will kick it back to the Cougars. There's Ken Diamantalolo, the head coach, very successful. His 8th year as the head coach of Navy. That kickoff from Grebe goes into the end zone, nearly out of bounds, but it's a touchback. A berth in the American Championship game is on the line here today. The winner of this one will represent the West in the American, which has had a heck of a year. Option style play from Greg Ward Jr. and the pitch to Webb. Nice gain across the 30. Stopped at about the 32 by Micah Thomas, but that's 7 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, the Houston coaches are standing by the game plan they told us. They're attacking the perimeter. They're attacking it with option. They're attacking it with bubble screens. They've got fades. They've got quick passes. A lot of no backs like we're seeing here.
2nd and short. Ward all alone in the backfield. He'll throw short. That pass complete, and it should be good enough for a 1st down. Caught by Chance Allen. Let's send it down to the sideline at Allison Williams.
Well, after Navy gave up a touchdown to Houston on their opening drive, Ken Diamantalolo came over to the defense and said, hey, we're okay, just relax. This is what happened against Memphis. We are absolutely fine. One thing they do need to do, though, is keep contained. They can't let Greg Ward Jr. outside the pocket.
Play fake on 1st down. Ward will go out of bounds. Kind of leaned forward to try to get a yard or 2. I think he got 1.
And Dave, they're doing a good job, but everything's happening quick. They're not putting pressure on that offensive line. Quarterback Ward is getting the ball out of his hands very quickly on about every play.
Navy's had great players in their long football history. They haven't had a lot of great defensive linemen in their history, and they believe that this may be the best defensive line Navy has ever had. Big reason why they're having a special year. 15th ranked team in the country. Ward swings that pass out left side. Allen, who can't get away. What a great open field tackle by Quincy Adams, who got beat for the touchdown on the opening drive. That was an excellent tackle.
Yeah, one of the problems with the defense of Navy, their coaches say sometimes they get outmatched athletically, one-on-one in space. In this situation, Quincy Adams comes up underneath the blocker and makes the perfect tackle for no gain.
Chance Allen's a good athlete. He started his career from the state of Texas, but went out to Oregon, transferred back here to Houston. It's 3rd and 10. Ward steps up in the pocket. He'll throw, and it is tipped up and caught by DeMarcus Ayers. Almost intercepted, then almost incomplete. I think it hit off the shoulder pad of Ayers, and then he caught it before it hit the turf.
Goes right through Brendan Clemens' hands. It hits Ayers in the shoulder pads. Very good concentration on his part. Very good eye control and body control. What an athlete that young man can get that ball in the air and make the tremendous catch. These two teams are very confident teams, Dave, and you can see that both of them believe in what they're doing.
23 yards on a heck of a play. Greg Ward Jr. on 1st down, hands it off to Wilson, cuts it upfield. Brandon Wilson bounces it outside. Touchdown! Well, you think the Houston coaches know what they're doing? This is a kid who had not played running back in college. He's been a starting cornerback. Today, because of injury, the starting tailback, 17 yards, and the Cougars are back in front.
Yeah, Brandon Wilson scored 4 TDs, but 2 of them in the kicking game, 2 of them on defense. Now he's got 1 on offense.
So he knows what the end zone looks like, but a little different look as the running back. Brandon Wilson, the junior from Shreveport, Louisiana. Extra point is up and good. Another impressive drive against a talented Navy defense. 13 plays, 75 yards, more than 5 minutes off the clock. And with 1:21 to go in the first quarter, Houston's back up by a touchdown. Brandon Wilson, I mean, he was a high school running back and a real good one for a good program in Shreveport, but he has not played running back since then. That's instincts for the position, a run like that.
And he made Daquan Thomason miss him in the hole for Navy, number 26. And Daquan is from Clayton, North Carolina, but one of their best defensive backs.
Houston's speed giving Navy's defense some problems. Still early on, kickoff, and Romine will return to the 20. He's got speed to the 30, tackled outside the 30 at about the 32-yard line. Reynolds, triple option pitch, and good defense by the Cougars. That one went backwards. Khalil Williams with the tackle.
Sophomore from Missouri City, Texas. This is exactly how you play the option. Somebody's got the dive. Roberts has got the quarterback. And then on the pitch, Williams is there to get the pitch immediately after he catches the football. Very good defense.
And they bring Sean White in as the fullback now. And Reynolds is back to pass. He's going to swing it out to White, who catches, turns it upfield. The big guy rumbling gets upended and falls forward to about the 39-yard line. Landon Roberts, one of the top tacklers in the country, a gain of 9.
Yeah, Sean White's 255 pounds. He'd play guard in a lot of programs, Dave. You get him rolling outside in the flat, it's hard to tackle him.
They have huge fullbacks. All 3 of the guys who play are as big as a lot of their linemen.
Yeah, Navy needs to stay on the field. You've only run 8 plays now. They're not sure of the play, so they're going to take a timeout. No, here's the quarter. Into the quarter.
Yeah, I think they'll just let those last 5 seconds tick off the clock. Talk it over for what does feel like a big play in a very big game on both sides. And action-packed in the first quarter. Houston happy to have its quarterback back with Greg Ward Jr. making plays all over the field. Keenan Reynolds as well. Houston 14, Navy 7. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown here in Houston, and the Cougars lead number 15 Navy 14-7 start of the second quarter. Let's go down to the sideline and Allison Williams.
Houston's defense facing this triple option for the first time, but they certainly have been preparing for it. You go back to spring ball, and they actually took a few days to introduce their defense to the triple option. And for the last 8 weeks, every Sunday, which is a practice just to kind of shake off the soreness, no pads, They have taken 10 to 15 minutes every Sunday to introduce a formation that Navy runs and teach them each run out of that formation and how to fit it.
They are comfortable in these kind of plays. Just a straight pitch to the left side and close, very close. But I think he got there. Again, that speed of Romine, the junior from Louisville, Kentucky.
And Dave, we've said Navy's not going to panic. Thank goodness the young guys at Navy and Air Force and Army are going to be protecting our country. But these guys understand who they are and what they are. They know it's a long game. They will not deviate from what they do offensively.
Well, 1st and 10. Navy needed that one. Reynolds and company still inside their own 30. Fake the dive. Reynolds back to pass. He's going to throw deep. He's got a man out there, and it is caught inside Houston territory. Tyler Carmona, the sophomore, was open. Pass maybe slightly underthrown, but it got there. 41 yards. They don't do it much, but they have passed fairly effectively this year.
When you do play action and the linebackers are coming up, it really affects the safeties because they're running inside out for the option and left Carmona wide open for a big play. They don't throw it often, but when they do, it's effective.
5 touchdowns through the air, no interceptions for Reynolds this season. 1st and 10. And they give it to that big, tough fullback. It is impressive. That time, Sean White, how much size and strength they have at the fullback spot.
And the 255-pounder that's making 4 yards in the first quarter and the second quarter ends up making 6 to 8 in that third and fourth quarter. That's why they pound you. Everybody's got to stop the big guys inside, and it opens up the speed guys outside. That was the first option of the triple option.
Reynolds, play fake. They're going to throw again. And he's got a man wide open. That will be a touchdown, and he made it look easy. Jameer Tillman. Nobody around him, 26 yards. So Reynolds, we're used to him doing it on the ground. On this drive through the air, Navy an extra point away from tying the game.
Houston had tightened up. They've tightened down on their safeties. You start looking at the safety coming all the way across. They lose sight of Tillman as he's coming across. He's 6'4", 206 junior, wide open on the crossing route. Good job by the Navy coaches. They're seeing Houston crowd the line of scrimmage. They're up around there trying to stop the option only, so they take 2 shots for passes to lead to the score.
Extra point up and good. Well, through the air, Keenan Reynolds and Navy down the field. An important drive as the Midshipmen tie the game up. And that umpire maybe with a little assist there. He's got to get out of the way. Wide open, Tillman, touchdown. It is senior day officially for these Houston Cougars, although they're hoping to have another home game. If they win this one against Navy, they win the West and the American, they would host the conference championship game next Saturday. 14-14 Navy through the air. Moves the ball down the field with Keenan Reynolds and ties the game. The 15th ranked Midshipmen.
Dave, those players and coaches at Navy know so much about that offense. They knew exactly when to go to the passing game.
A shorter kick. It will be returned from outside the 15. Ran into his own man, Webb. And tackled the Houston offense back on the field. Let's check in with Allison.
With the season and career Keenan Reynolds is having, it seems almost every touchdown is some sort of record. The one he just threw ties the school record for passing touchdowns. So how do they keep track of all the individual balls he completes those TDs with? Well, check this out. Inside each and every game ball, there is a chip implanted. After a touchdown is scored, the assistant AD for equipment operations scans the chip, documents the scoring play and when it occurred, and records it. So every time this ball is scanned, they will know it was here in the second quarter against Houston, and the passing touchdown from Keenan Reynolds that tied the school record. So pretty cool, interesting use of technology here on the sidelines.
That particular one, Allison, looked like me at the grocery store trying to scan that. Come on, let's get it. So an innovative way to keep track of those footballs. Houston offense back on the field and a handoff on first down. Nice gain out to the 30 and just across the 30 for Javin Webb, the sophomore, just like Brandon Wilson, also from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Equipment managers are some of the best people in college football. They're fun. It's the first time I've ever heard an assistant athletic director for equipment. All those equipment managers now are going to go to their bosses tomorrow and say, I want that job.
At least the title.
At least the title. That's right.
Second down and 5. Another handoff. This time left side. Wilson spins away from the tackle. Wilson. First down and more out to the 40. Brandon Wilson has not played running back in his 3 years at Houston other than in the spring game. Today, because of their injuries, moved over from the defensive side of the ball and making an impact.
They're running the power play up front, blocking down and pulling. And credit to Wilson for being unselfish enough to move over.
Having a great year at defensive back. This time Webb straight ahead running to the 43-yard line. Gain of 3 on first down.
Well, and Dave, we've done a lot of games this year, and we hear about youth and we hear about injuries.
That pass complete left side. Great perimeter blocking by Houston, and a big gain into Navy territory. Linnell Bonner inside the 35 down to the 32.
Yeah, we hear a lot about injuries. We hear a lot about youth. Give credit to the Houston staff. Instead of talking about the best running back being out or 2 of the best out.
Wilson trying to spin away from a tackle. He has been a tough runner for a guy who has not played running back. But he might have lost a half a yard. It'll be second and goal from the 10. 6 minutes to go. First half, 14-14.
Well, and Houston is going really fast. So they're trying to wear out the Navy defense in space.
And it may be having some effect. This will be their 42nd play from scrimmage. Navy's run 15 plays in the first half. Another handoff. Wilson again, a big pop, but this time he gets down to the 5-yard line where it'll be third and goal. So Wilson having a heck of a first half.
They've got Navy running all over the place, and then you can come back and get some creases inside with the power play. And Wilson so far, other than Greg Ward, has been the outstanding player in this game for the Houston offense.
57 yards and a touchdown, but he comes off for third and goal. Javon Webb in the game at tailback alongside Ward. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Ward takes the snap. Thought there might have been a flinch along the offensive line. Ward somehow gets away. Again, Ward, touchdown! What a play by a guy who is not healthy, not close to it. From 5 yards out, Cougars back in front.
Navy changed up. They brought 5 defenders. They blitzed the outside linebacker. They kept him in the pocket. They did everything right. They just couldn't tackle Greg Ward Jr.
They had a couple chances to do so. So another third and goal conversion for a touchdown. They did it on their first drive. Extra point up and good. What a difference maker he is. Back on the field this week after the disappointing loss where he basically did not play last week, and he's making things happen. 21-14, Houston leads. Houston back in front of 15th ranked Navy, 21-14, 4:59 to go in the first half. And Ken Niumatalolo hoping that his midshipmen can get to a major bowl game for the first time since the 1963 Cotton Bowl. They're in position to do it if they run the table. But I think you might say the same about Houston. Kickoff bounces into the end zone. A little fake pitch. Now Reynolds takes a hit and goes down. Well, Houston is really defending the triple option well. Landon Roberts, another tackle for number 44.
And we're seeing a Landon Roberts show up just about everywhere Keenan Reynolds does. So they're probably trying to mirror him to make sure he hits the quarterback. Little counter by the quarterback there. Didn't phase the linebackers at all.
They had the dive covered. They had the keep covered. They had the pitch covered. Fake dive, Reynolds straight ahead, pushing that line. And he's not big, but he is powerful. Gets 4 or 5 yards. It's still going to be third down and about 7 for Navy.
Big down for Navy. They're probably not going to go 4th down here after this third down situation unless it's 4th or 2 or less, 1 or less, because they're on this end of the field. But they don't need to give the offense of Houston the ball back because they're moving the ball so easily right now against Navy's defense. This is a big down.
Swain, the fullback. They will fake to him. Reynolds flushed out to the right. He'll throw, and a nice catch out into open space. First down and more to Brandon Sanders. Spins near midfield. The passing game for the Midshipmen has been huge here on these last two drives.
Yes, these guys know that Houston's all over the running game right now, so they're using misdirection in the option game to slip the H-backs out and the tight ends across. Big play in this ball game. Really huge play to keep Navy with the ball. 3:28 left in the half.
Yeah, that was 20 yards through the air. Now they will give the ball to the fullback. Again, just nowhere to go. Against the pure triple option run game right now, Houston is having its way. That was Quentin Izell, 253-pound senior.
And I will say, Dave, the Houston defense and defensive coaches, they need to stop the run. It is the option. It's a triple option. If they're going to have a few passes that are open, that's okay. You got to stop something, and they're after stopping the run today.
Todd Orlando, really good defensive coach in charge of this defense. That pass complete for nothing. So he hit Romine, or actually Calvin Cass, out of the right flat, but Houston was right there with the tackle. Lee Hightower, nice play.
Navy doesn't have to make this first down on third down, but they need to get it to a measurable situation on fourth down, this side of the 50 where they can go for it.
Under 3 minutes to go, first half. Play clock winding down. Fake dive, pitch it back left side, and well defended again by the Cougars. Jameer Tillman came around from right to left. He got across midfield and gained a few. Now Navy is lining up like they might go for it on fourth down and fairly long. And this is, if they really go for it here, that's a gutsy call.
They could try to pull them off sides to make it more of a measurable. You're 7 yards.
Well, and Houston is going to call timeout to just make sure. So that was a timeout by the Cougars, their last one of the first half. Barta trying to angle it, and Ayers will receive it inside the 5. Wow. Sideline to the 15, to the 20, and he breaks across the 25. So DeMarcus Ayers knew what he was doing. That's dangerous territory to field a punt, but he gets plus field position for Houston. Greg Ward Jr. having a heck of a day. And that's down. So the pass complete, clock continues to move. That's not a great result for the Cougars.
No, not a great start. You're going to try to get it to 50, and then you'll open it up. But you don't want to give the ball back to Navy before the end of the half.
This pass right back to Bonner, complete again. He'll take another hit, does not get out of bounds. That was a mistake by him. Clock continues to move. We're down to a minute to go, and it's third down.
Now you'll probably slow down a little bit if you're Houston. Let some of that clock run off. Navy might go ahead and use a timeout, but it looks like Houston's going to let the clock run. They get the first down. You're still going to have 50, 40-something seconds left, but Navy's going to let it play out.
Yeah, Houston does not have great faith in its field goal kicking game either, so that could be playing into this decision to be conservative. If Bonner had gotten out of bounds, maybe they play it a little differently. Third down. Ward in the pocket, gets away. Ward is going to run, and wow, what a move in the open field. Ward to midfield. He'll go out of bounds and stops the clock with 21 seconds. So another third down conversion, and he scrambled for 14 yards.
Yeah, Navy was worried about tackling in space when you start talking about the athletes at Houston. And Greg Ward Jr. just faked out Daniel Gonzalez completely, the junior from Vail, Arizona, number 58.
So that changes things a little bit. The clock is definitely an issue. Field goal kicker Ty Cummings, his longest of the year is only 36 yards. So you figure they got some work to do to get into realistic field goal range. Ward back to pass. Ward taking a deep shot along the sideline. Incomplete. I think he hit the hands of his receiver, Chance Allen. Maybe Clemens at the last moment knocked it away.
Really good play by Clemens. He had him covered. You don't have much time left. You're trying to go outside. You're trying to put your tall guy again on their guy, and Chance Allen is another 6'3", 215-pound receiver that's a junior from Missouri City, Texas. But you're not going to throw the ball over the middle when you've got 15 to 20 seconds left, because you've got to get it outside, and you've got to spike the ball to have a chance at a field goal very quickly if you complete a pass down in field goal range.
Unlike a team with a longer range field goal kicker, they probably need 30 yards or so to have a good shot at a field goal. Ward again on the move, and Ward will get to the sideline. Another scramble of about 12, maybe 13, with 7 seconds on the clock. And at the very least, Houston has a better chance now. They can take a shot at the end zone.
Yes, that's exactly what Greg Ward Jr. was doing. No one was open. Don't throw the interception. I know it kills some clock, but let's have a chance to throw it in the end zone the last play of the half. Hail Mary.
Their 49th play from scrimmage of the first half right here. Gets to the sideline, and Air steps out of bounds. 3 seconds on the clock. Okay. Now they are going to give it a shot. Ty Cummings.
That was really smart. You normally need 8 seconds to run that play. They had 7. They got it complete and out of bounds with 3 seconds left. Plenty of time for the field goal.
This would be right around 45 yards, which would be easily his longest of the year. He hasn't missed a kick all year. 45-yard try. Snap, kick on the way. Hooking back, and it is good with plenty to spare. So Ty Cummings making an argument to use him a little bit more often. What a finish to the half for Houston. Navy will get the ball to start the second half, but down 10, 24-14. That's the halftime score. Coming up, Allison talks with Tom Herman. The Capital One halftime report after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Coach Herman, what has been the key for your defense when it comes to slowing down this triple option?
We're running to the football. That's plain and simple. We're running to the football, and we're hitting them really hard, and we're causing a little havoc in the backfield.
On offense, you have a quarterback coming off an ankle injury and a running back seeing his first action of the season at that position. So how do you think they've done in that first half?
Pretty good. We got to get better on the offensive line. Got to get better on the perimeter. Our wideouts are not playing great right now, but our quarterback's playing really well, and the 2 running backs that are in there are playing pretty good.
Coach Herman, thank you.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. 24-14. Houston leading the 15th ranked Midshipmen of Navy. And as we get ready to start the second half, Dave Fleming, Mac Brown back with you. The triple option, the bread and butter of Navy. Man, did Houston do a great job stopping it.
They really did. You got to penetrate up front, have your linebackers and safeties really pursue inside out. The boundary's your buddy, because you want to run them north or east and west instead of north and south, and Houston's done just that.
Well, and the Cougars have a chance for what would be a monumental win for them. The stakes, not just a berth in the American Conference Championship. The winner of this game does clinch the West Division and will host that championship game next weekend against either Temple or South Florida. But then clearly, in my mind, would be 1 win away from being the overwhelming favorite to get that spot in a New Year's Six bowl game.
Well, everybody in America knows Navy's not going to quit. So we've got us a really good second half coming up here.
Kickoff deep. The Midshipmen do get the ball, and the kick return, a nice one across the 25, close to the 30. We'll go down to the sideline, and Allison Williams.
Well, Houston is giving Navy a taste of its own medicine, according to head coach Ken Niumatalolo. He said Houston's done a good job possessing the ball, converting on 3rd and 4th downs. So defensively, they have to just focus on getting off the field. He said, I know Ward is difficult to tackle, but we've got guys in position. We just need to wrap them up. As for the offense, he said the key for them is just getting more turns. They haven't gotten a whole lot of opportunities so far in this one.
All right, thanks, Allison. They ran 21 plays from scrimmage in the first half.
And Houston had 49, and Houston's had 18 minutes and 27 seconds. Navy's got to restart the game.
Hand off Swain, the fullback, with some power running straight ahead. So lately there haven't been a lot of positive games out of that triple option on the ground. That counts as one to begin the second half.
Yes, that's the basic play in the triple option. If they can reestablish the fullback, then it opens the quarterback and the pitch outside. So you're seeing Navy go back to very simple basics here on the first play of the second half.
Second and 5. Reynolds fakes that dive. He's looking to throw, and it's tipped and intercepted. The ball was tipped and then picked off Trayvon Stewart. The ball hawking secondary of Houston comes through with another turnover.
Very good hand-eye coordination. Senior Trayvon Stewart out of Patterson, Louisiana. Very good play. The ball was tipped by number 9, Matthew Adams, at linebacker. Those linebackers have been so active, but good hand-eye coordination. Outstanding catch. Big play to start the second half.
You know, Adams was there to wrap up the intended target. I think it was the defensive lineman with his back to the play, Malvo, whose hand actually really accidentally touched that ball and tipped it up. And there was Stewart for the interception. That's the first interception thrown by Reynolds. Now the quick hitter on first down. Ayers breaks a tackle. Ayers still going down the sideline inside the 30. And what a start to the second half for the Cougars.
Well, what the coaches were talking about at Navy has become a nightmare right now because they're having trouble tackling in space. And Houston's going at a very quick tempo.
First interception of the year thrown by Keenan Reynolds. And Houston, a great opportunity to up their 10-point lead. That pass caught in the right flat. Nice open field tackle, but a good gain for Chance Allen.
Houston and Greg Ward Jr. being very patient with their offense. They're taking the underneath stuff.
Well, only 7 total turnovers, best in college football. First one today, but it was a big one. Ward, hands off, and a nice hole for Wilson, who stays on his feet. He has been so impressive. Brandon Wilson playing running back for the first time since high school, a starting defensive back with all the injuries, and he looks like an A-plus tailback.
Well, and Houston's doing a good job of making the Navy defenders spread out and cover the field, and there's fewer defenders to block up inside for that inexperienced offensive line.
Another 12 yards. It's first and goal, Cougars. Ward sprinting right. Ward gets hit and goes down. Daniel Gonzalez with the tackle. Well, for Navy at this point, holding Houston to a field goal try would be a victory.
It would be a victory. Navy can't let this thing get out of hand, because with the Navy offense, you're not a high-speed offense. You're not a one-minute offense the entire game, so you have more trouble catching up. So they're going to stay with their game plan, so they need to stop Houston here.
Second and goal. Handoff, left side. Picking his way forward inside the 5. Stood up there. That's Wilson again. So you got some positive yardage. It'll be third and goal from the 5. Houston has been such a good third-quarter team. So the halftime adjustments, whatever it is, the Cougars have dominated the opposition in the third quarter. 120-28 the total score.
Well, that goes back to coaching. You make those adjustments at halftime. You come back out in the third quarter. A lot of times you start even with a different game plan, but whatever Tom Herman is doing at halftime is working.
Third and goal from the 5. They've already had a couple touchdowns in this same situation in this game. Ward, that fade pass is caught. What a catch. Liddell Bonner, touchdown Houston. Now there is a flag on the play. You assume on the defense, and I think it will be on the Navy defense.
That's interference. Defense number 5, that penalty's declined. Result of the play, the touchdown.
Tremendous catch by the sophomore.
What a throw, what a catch. He threw it only where Houston could get it, and Navy couldn't. Once again, good job matching up one-on-one, putting a taller guy on a shorter guy for a fade in the end zone for a touchdown like earlier in the game.
Just a terrific pass from Greg Ward. I thought out of his hand he had thrown it too far. And it was perfect. Extra point up and good. Right now it's all Houston. Defense gets the ball back. A rare Navy turnover on the tip ball interception by Stewart. And then the Cougars offense, which has been so productive right down the field. Another third down for the touchdown. 31-14. You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. It's been a great year in the American with Temple, with Memphis, with Navy, with Houston. Maybe the game of the year in the conference right here today. And it's been all Cougars. 31-14, 11:37 to go in the third quarter. The turnover, the interception by Reynolds leads to the Houston touchdown. And the 15th ranked team in the country, Navy, is in trouble. Kendi Matalolo, the head coach, talking to his senior leader.
And Navy will not look at that scoreboard. They're just going to be Navy. So they're going to keep doing what they do. So fans, don't be surprised when you see Navy with the same offensive thoughts that they've had all year that put them in this 9-1 position.
Kickoff will be taken near the goal line. In fact, in the end zone by Romine. And that will be a touchback. So first down, Navy. 8 rushes, 82 yards. For the all-time great, Reynolds keeps it again. Reynolds, more room. First down and more across midfield. And out of bounds at the Houston 48, a gain of 14 yards. And you said it, Mac. Navy, they do what they do. They're not going to deviate, even down 17.
And these coaches are so good. These players are so good. This bunch has got 10 seniors on this offense. So now the last 2 plays, because of all the big guys inside, all that beef from Houston inside, they've opted to go outside for big gains.
Reynolds, play fake, looking to throw. Taking a deep shot into coverage. Tip ball, incomplete. On the deflection, that had a chance to be a touchdown. Thomas Wilson was there. There is a flag in the secondary, not all the way down where the ball was. I think it is going against the defense. Michael Roach will get this sorted out.
Holding number 16 of the defensive eligible pass receiver. It's a 10-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
That's what this offense does to you. Run the ball outside, option. Safety's got to come up, run the ball the other way outside, then hit the inside play. Safety loses his eye discipline and is good a football player as number 16, Adrian McDonald, is senior, very physical, one of their leaders. It's really, really difficult to make that option play, tackle at the line of scrimmage, and then defend the receiver deep. It's nearly impossible to stop when it's all working together like Navy has done on this drive. Great drive for Navy.
That is the first penalty against Houston. I mean, the Cougars are doing all the things that Navy usually does. No penalties, no turnovers. Possessing the ball, play clock again winding down. Reynolds calm, gets the play off. Hands off to Swain. Tough running from the fullbacks. Inside the 20. That's a good example of the senior. Play clock winding down. Crowd's loud. You're on the road. There was no panic whatsoever.
These guys aren't going to panic. We know their regiment every day. They are tough young men that have very tough academics. They have a hard schedule. They're not going to panic over some football game.
8-play drive, 56 yards. Much needed drive for Navy. But the Midshipmen, they got to turn this into points. Triple option, well defended. Cameron Malvo got the tip on the interception, the junior. Got to Reynolds before he could get to the corner.
Once again, penetration is what really hurts the triple option. Navy doesn't have the big guys outside to block. Chad Llewellyn was trying to block that big defensive tackle. Chad's 6'4", 195-pound sophomore, and he just got overpowered with the inside slant by Malvo.
3rd and 5. Again, could be 4-down territory. Reynolds. Little misdirection option. It's Malvo again. Wow, what a sequence for Cameron Malvo. Reynolds had nowhere to go.
We're starting to look at a guy that's 6'6", 270 pounds, moving like the quickness of a cat to stop one of the best running quarterbacks in the country. What an athletic play. What athletic ability by Malvo.
Well, I think if they've even got a yard or 2 on that play, they would have gone for it. Instead, they went backwards. So it's a 39-yard field goal try for Austin Greavy. Kick is on the way, and it is good. Wow, close, but good. Well, the Midshipmen, they did need that. They wanted a touchdown. They get the field goal, 31-17. And that kick just found a way through.
Well, and it doesn't matter how much it was in. It counts 3 points, whether it's in the middle or way over to the right side.
Takes a lot of food to feed 2 football teams. Thanksgiving dinner before this Friday after Thanksgiving. A huge game in the American with a spot in the conference championship game on the line. Houston 31, Navy after the drive of 53 yards that netted them a field goal, 17. The winner of this will host either Temple, which plays tomorrow night against UConn, a feisty UConn team that beat Houston last week, or South Florida, a surging team. The Bulls have already won yesterday against Central Florida. Squib kick. Houston will bring it back across the 20 to the 25. And that's where the Houston offense will take over.
So big an honor for you and I and Allison to be here talking about a Navy football team that's done so well. But we wouldn't have Thanksgiving if it wasn't for our military.
And so many of those folks who are across the country, across the world, away from their loved ones. First down, Houston. Wilson, tough running, breaking tackles. It's been a problem all game for Navy. The inability to get Wilson, to get Ward, to get Ayers on the ground. Nice gain where there wasn't a whole lot of room.
And Navy's gang tackling, but he was making all of them miss. This guy's been the story of the game. You very seldom, if ever, see a guy move from corner to running back. Short week, and he's been a star today.
Week 12 of his junior season. He's played defensive back his whole career. Last time he was a running back was in high school. He's been one of their best players. 2nd and 4. A handoff and a pitch back. Ayers with a blocker in front. He gets to that corner. Ayers will be shoved out of bounds. And he did get enough, I believe, with the spot. Yeah, to get a first down.
And number 58, Daniel Gonzalez, pushes this play deep because of his penetration as he's coming up here. And he probably keeps it from being even a bigger play than it was. And then nice tackle by Quincy Adams at the end.
It is still a Houston first down. Still, this Navy defense has not forced a 3-and-out all game. Only 1 punt for the Cougars and 31 on the board. Still with 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Handoff, Wilson over the right side, shoved backwards, still on his feet. The extra effort ended up costing Houston some yardage. Bernard Serra, who has been the big playmaker up the middle. Not a ton of stats, but he's the run stopper in the middle of that D-line.
And he's the pulse of the defense. I'm sure he stirred these guys up on the sideline. The Navy offense hasn't been the problem today, Dave. It's been the Navy defense. They have had an inability to get Houston off the field. They've got to make a stop on this drive.
Yeah, feels like a must. The way both these teams have worked clock. We're running out of time already in the 3rd quarter. Ward flushed out. Ward turns it upfield. Bounces outside. Still on balance. And he'll get tackled across the line of scrimmage. Remember, when you watch Greg Ward Jr. scramble around as he has all game long, he says he's healthy. He is not healthy.
Well, he's not healthy, but he's been healthy enough and quick enough at probably 80-85% to avoid the sack all day. I think we might have had 1 sack against him. Will Anthony, guy that has 3 sacks against Tulsa, had him hemmed up that time but couldn't tackle him.
So it's 3rd and 9. Huge play for the Navy defense trying to get off the field.
If you're a fan out there coaching, do you blitz now? How do you keep Greg Ward Jr. in the pocket and still cover the fast guys?
I think their best success is when they brought some pressure. Really just a 2-man rush over the middle. What a catch by Ayers. Spinning away. Ayers on his way. Touchdown. Wow. One-handed, and then the legs did the rest. 62 yards. Just tremendous from DeMarcus Ayers.
We said this guy would be an impact player early in the ball game. What a catch. One hand came up under the safety, Barber, and then outruns the entire secondary from Navy for a score.
What a play. 5-play drive, 74 yards. Another third down that turns into a touchdown. And this, the most spectacular of all. The junior from Lancaster, Texas, their big playmaker, number 10, snatches it out of the air and then off to the races. What a day for Houston. Kickoff. And it will be Romine to bring it back. Gets hit at the 15 and dropped. They're going to throw. Taking a shot with a man wide open down the field. That's Tillman. Tillman still going inside the 35 down to the 33. So Reynolds and Navy saying we're not done yet. It's still the third quarter.
We've said it. These guys are going to keep competing till the end of this ball game. Matthew Adams got fooled again with his option responsibilities. It's what I love about the triple option. You got the triple option runs, but then the passes off of it that are killers.
49 yards. Another play fake. Reynolds flushed. Reynolds sacked. A huge loss, and Landon Roberts with the sack. 12 yards for Navy in the wrong direction.
Roberts is having a fantastic game. You can see that he's coming up inside after Keenan Reynolds, and he's so quick and he's so tough. Really hurt Houston last week when he got a targeting call in the first quarter at UConn.
But helps that he's back for this game. That pass incomplete on 2nd and 22, and now Navy where they do not want to be. 3rd and 22. Not the bread and butter for the triple option.
No, and nobody wants to be 3rd and 22. They used to ask me, what do you call on 3rd and 22? And I said, punt, call safe, call help. It's not good. What they'll try to do is get half of it back and then try to go for the 4th and 10.
Final minute plus of this third quarter. Reynolds dumps it off short, and they will get some of that yardage back. The ball flies out at the end of the play with Tony O'Gully with the catch and run for 14 yards. I think you're right. That does set up a spot where they can go for it on 4th down. It's still 4th and long, but it's 4th and about 7, maybe 8.
Yeah, we're manageable now. At 4th and 20-something, you're in trouble. You're not going to get it unless you just sling one deep and hope something happens with a penalty or a catch. Now you've got plays, option plays, and you've got passing plays that can make 4th and 7.
Look at Navy, 17 of 19 on the year on 4th down. Not many of them quite like this. Reynolds being flushed. Throws on the move. What a pass! First down, it'll be 1st and goal. Thomas Wilson with the catch. And man, you wouldn't know that Keenan Reynolds doesn't throw very much with that delivery. 23 yards.
No, really good protection up inside by Chris Swain, that big fullback. Look at 37. Takes him on. Keenan Reynolds gets outside where he can run or pass. Keeps his composure. That's what you love about this guy. Keeps his eyes downfield. Throws back across his body for a huge first down.
Keeps his composure. Just got his service assignment post-grad information warfare. Reynolds keeps it. Reynolds stopped inside the 3 down to about the 2. That could be the final play of the third quarter. Navy's got work to do, but knocking on the door to try to make it closer. It'll be 2nd and goal when the 4th quarter starts from Houston. So far, it's been the Cougars with the highlight plays on defense, on offense, with their quarterback, with their skilled players. One of the great days in recent history for Houston football. College football presented by Kay Jewelers will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Welcome back to ESPN College Football on ABC, presented by Kay Jewelers. And Houston once again dominating the third quarter as we go to quarter number 4. They lead 38-17. The winner of this game clinches the West Division. The American will play for the conference championship next weekend. Handoff at the goal line, and it's a touchdown, Navy. So the Midshipmen are not going to go quietly. Chris Swain, the fullback, on the first play of the 4th quarter, makes it 38-23 with the extra point still to come.
We've said it time and time again in this second half. Navy's not going away. They've got to figure out how to stop the offense of Houston. But these guys have been a fourth quarter football team. They're tough, they're smart, and they know what's on the line in this fourth quarter. So we've got us a great fourth quarter ahead.
Second touchdown of the day for Swain. Extra point is up, and it is good. So 3 seconds into the fourth quarter, there is a penalty on that point after try.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker on the receiving team. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Well, Greavy's setting up like he might be thinking about it. Now there's a balloon out on the field. So before we can get that kickoff, yeah, okay, we took care of that. Michael, our referee.
We can see the Houston coaches are moving their guys up. So they're anticipating a short kick of some type. The second line is moved up about 4 or 5 yards.
Greavy's going to kind of sky kick it. It'll be taken inside the 5 and returned just barely outside the 5. Now a flag also on the play. So look for Mac at the airport after the game. Handoff straight ahead, a big hole for Wilson in Houston. And what a big play that is. The Cougars starting from their own 4. 18 yards for breathing room for a first down.
And coaching, you think if you've got them backed up and you can hold them short kick and you get points, you couldn't afford to let Wilson squirt for a big game.
Wilson's up to 95 yards on the ground. The converted defensive back who's been the primary ball carrier. Ward throws incomplete. Off the hands of Bonner, who's got a touchdown catch in this game. That stops the clock. 14:25. It is the fourth quarter, so plenty of time in the fourth quarter, but that clock is going to be an important factor. You also see Ward, and I think he got stepped on at the end of that play by his own player right on the left ankle. Ouch. That's Mason Denley. So 2nd and 10, and as if the high ankle sprain wasn't enough. Greg Ward playing so well. He will swing it out right side. Quick catch, turn upfield with blocking. Still going outside the 40. And finally pulled out of bounds, John Leday. Navy just has not been able to handle Houston on the perimeter.
And for the fans at home, when Denley steps on your foot, that's 305 pounds. It's not like somebody barely stepping on your foot.
Ward keeps it straight ahead with a burst. Ward inside the 30. $13 more yards on the ground.
Option play. He fakes to Wilson across the formation and comes back out. And every time we think he's hurt and he's down, and he's limping, he just runs for about 10 more yards. He's been really frustrating for the Navy defense today. We're seeing 2 of the best quarterbacks in the country in this ball game. It's fun to watch.
Well, you think it made a difference? This is not to take away from Bob Diaco and UConn, but last week when Houston lost and he basically did not play until the last series, I think it made a big difference. This one, a backwards pass, and Ayers is going to heave it. He's got a man. Caught! Touchdown! 29 yards. What else can DeMarcus Ayers do? And Navy knows that is big, big trouble.
Set it up the whole game. You're throwing out to Ayers on the bubble screen. Throw it to Ayers on the bubble screen. Here's a high school quarterback in DeMarcus Ayers that throws it deep to Lionel Bonner, who's from Houston, Texas, 6 foot, 200-pound sophomore. What a call, what a play. Great execution for the score.
That's the second touchdown for Bonner. Kick is up, and kick is good. What a day for Houston football. The 15th ranked team of the country is down big on the road, 45-24.
This place is rocking. Good for Houston.
Cougars will kick it deep. Navy. Romine loses his shoe, and he's going to return it anyway. And considering he's only got one cleat on, that's not a bad return out to the 24. DeMarcus Ayers, the wide receiver, he's kept both shoes on today, and he's been spectacular.
He really has. First, he's got 2 great catches in this ball game. This one is tipped. It hits his shoulder pad. He actually hurt his shoulder some, but he comes down and gets it. This is one of the best catches of the year. It goes across the middle versus 2 deep, and then outruns everybody for the score. He can catch it, but he can also throw it. The high school quarterback, they pull it out of the back pocket and throw it deep for the touchdown. This guy has been a huge difference in this ball game for Houston today.
Reynolds running that triple option, nowhere to go. He got a yard on first down to the 25. Well, the Houston coaches did tell us, Mac, that DeMarcus Ayers, high school quarterback, you mentioned that he was maybe even the backup quarterback today. Kyle Postma, who has done a nice job as the true backup, is so beat up. If something happened to Ward with his ankle and Postma wasn't able to go, they were not going to burn a red shirt of a true freshman this late in the year. They were going to use Ayers.
Well, and what Tom did with those quarterbacks at Ohio State last year, it wouldn't have surprised me for Ayers to play well.
Tom Herman, man, what a job, what a year. Reynolds spins back, going the opposite way. Reynolds looking downfield. He will throw, and it is caught. What a pass. Jameer Tillman. And great communication between Reynolds and Tillman for the big gain of 39 yards.
Yeah, tried to sprint left. It wasn't there. He turns around. He goes all the way back to his right. You call it scramble drill. If you're not open, turn. When you get to the sideline and go deep, perfect throw from Reynolds to Tillman for the first down.
Fumbled snap. Reynolds does fall on the ball. I think Navy was in a hurry to get that play snapped so that they couldn't review.
Well, it worked. They just didn't get the snap.
Yeah.
The hurry worked. They didn't get it reviewed. And what you were saying about our team and our crew, Dave, is so true. We looked at this replay. Probably pulled out a little too fast. Looked like it was going to be a throw. But the team, the crew that puts on these games is a lot more important to TV than people think.
Reynolds in the pocket, going down again. And guess who? Landon Roberts has just been everywhere. 5 tackles for loss in this game.
This guy leads the conference in tackles. He's got 120 tackles coming into this ball game. 12 of those for 12.5 for loss.
3rd and 20 for Navy. Reynolds scrambling, throws, and completes it. Every time you think Navy is done, they come up with a play like that to Brandon Sanders, 1st and goal, Midshipmen.
He's got pressure. Keenan Reynolds is throwing across his body to the left. Excellent throw for the first down. 1st and goal from the 4. Navy has no quit in them.
And I do believe on that play, Keenan Reynolds has set a career-high passing yards. 264 yards now through the air. It's 1st and goal. Clock winding under 7.
Unbalanced line to the field.
Reynolds will keep it. Reynolds! And a record-setting touchdown for Keenan Reynolds. That ties Monte Ball most total touchdowns in the history of FBS college football. 83rd career touchdown for Reynolds.
What a special player, and like he has all year, he checked to the short side away from the unbalanced line to step in for the record-winning touchdown.
10 plays, 76 yards. They punch it in. So the Midshipmen, even we say they've had problems on offense, and Houston's defense, I think, has played well. Extra point to get to 31. Kick is up and good. So a record-tying touchdown for Keenan Reynolds. And Navy not going away. Still almost 7 minutes to go, down 14. Onside kick, nice bounce, and Navy could not grab it. Man, that was there. That was well executed by the place kicker, Grebe. And that thing hung in the air. You can understand why Navy would do it. Only 6:46 to go, down 14.
It's the perfect kick.
Perfect.
Get it to bounce high, go up and get it. Oh, get your hands on it, guys. That's a game changer.
It might have been Chance Allen who helped knock it out of bounds to make sure that the Navy special teams player could not grab the ball. Third down has been the key to this game in a lot of ways. Ward in the pocket. He'll throw, and the pass is caught for a first down. Houston does it again. The sophomore Linnell Bonner for 19 yards. He has had a breakout kind of game.
He really has. But all credit goes to Greg Ward Jr. sitting in the pocket. The offensive line's done a good job of keeping that great defensive line from Navy away from him. You throw it over the middle on a third down. Now you go back and slow the game down again. We call this the 4-minute offense. They're going to try to get the last 4 minutes off the clock and keep the ball.
So Navy had to have that one instead. 1st and 10, Houston. And a handoff to Brandon Wilson, bouncing it left side. He lunges forward to about the 26-yard line. On third down, Greg Ward Jr. has been at his best. He's been really good all game long, but on third down, look at those numbers.
He's been the difference in the ball game. Every time Navy's dialed up a different defense, he's had an answer for it. He's just been slippery. They can't tackle the guy.
If he'd been healthy last week, this would be an undefeated Houston team.
I think there's absolutely no doubt that there would be a chance, because they had 4 turnovers last week. That's not who they are as a Houston offense. And normally with your backup quarterback, you get put in some tough situations.
Still had a chance to win it at the end of that game. Wilson running, stopped at about the 25-yard line. It'll be third down. Now Navy does call its final timeout. And really, it doesn't matter. You save the time no matter when you use the timeout. So pick a spot to take it. So we'll take a timeout with the Midshipmen. 45-31. We'll be back right after this. Houston trying to put the finishing touches on what would be a monumental win for their program. 10-1 on the year. 45-31. 4:03 to go. Navy just used its final timeout. It is third down and about 6 for Greg Ward Jr. and the Cougars. They are going to fake that fly sweep action, throw it short. Pass is caught, and a broken tackle for a first down. This time, Gavin Webb, the sophomore. It's been a little bit of everybody for the Cougars.
Play action, you fake the speed sweep. Gavin Webb comes underneath, trying to stay in bounds, but he gets the first down. They're killing clock. 3:40 left. Excellent play call and execution by Houston on third down.
Another good block on the outside. This time it was Dunbar. I'll hand it off Wilson straight up the middle. Down to the 5.
This poor Navy defense has been on the field all day. It's very humid. It's very hot. They've got to be worn down.
Tough group of kids, but maybe out of gas. Quick snap. Wilson this time nowhere to go. 3rd and goal. This has been the sweet spot for Houston. Right from about the 5-yard line on both sides of the field. 3rd and goal. Third down overall, but there's just so many things to be impressed with. A beat-up quarterback who's not 100%. A running back group that's down to a converted defensive back as the starter. An offensive line unit that since January has lost 8 different players along the front.
And again, no excuses. They said this is what you do. Next man up. No regrets.
And a touchdown puts them over 50 today against a good defense. Greg Ward moving again. Not a touchdown, but that should be a first down. Webb pushed out of bounds. It was not a goal-to-go situation, so depending on, they do spot him with a first down.
It's really better than a touchdown if that's possible here, because they're going to get to use more clock. And they'll have some other plays. But this offense for Houston's been so impressive all day. They've just not made mistakes.
Handoff, Webb right to the goal line, stopped short. Just barely, but stopped short.
Again, if you're Houston, you're happy that clock's running. You've got 3 more downs to get in. You'd like to use as much clock here as you can. Just get it down to giving Navy very little time left on the clock, even though this one's done. Houston's won this football game, but still, you're trying to work on next week. You're trying to work on who you are and what you do. Let the clock run.
And remember, those rankings still matter a lot to Houston, with a possible conference championship looming now. So style points, yeah, they matter. Handoff Webb, stuffed again. It'll be 3rd and goal. That clock continues to move. Under a minute and a half to go. It's been a great year for Navy, and the year's not over. They're not going to play for a conference title. They will still have the Army game, not next weekend, but the weekend after. They could still have a Heisman ceremony for their senior quarterback, and they will definitely go to a bowl game for the 12th time in 13 years. Handoff, Wilson. Wilson leans forward, and no signal yet. Touchdown! And in some ways symbolic that it's another touchdown for Brandon Wilson. With all that Houston's had to work through these last few weeks, losing bodies left and right. A guy who never played running back in college, one of the stars of the game.
It also shows you as a player, don't be selfish. Do what the coaches tell you to do, and it usually works out best for you.
Here's the extra point. It is up, and it's good. 52-31. And Keenan Reynolds knows that those dreams of a first major bowl bid for the Midshipmen since the Cotton Bowl in 1963 have disappeared here today in Houston. Reason to be excited for the Houston kids. Kick return here for the Midshipmen. To the outside and across the 35-yard line. Final few seconds for Reynolds and the Navy offense. 554 yards for Houston. And a lot of spectacular in there. Pressure comes. Reynolds throws short. Tillman with some blockers ahead. This will be the final play. Tillman out into the open. Still on his feet and tackle with the ball coming out at the 10-yard line, and now Houston can indeed celebrate. What a win for the Cougars. Their 11th of the year. They are 11-1, and they're the West Division champs in the American. It's not just the players, the students will come out onto the field. Greg Ward Jr. What a quarterback he is, back on the field in this game, and he was a big difference maker. Down on the field in the midst of the celebration with Tom Herman. Here's Allison.
Thank you guys very much. Coach Herman, congratulations on winning the game you called the American Western Division Championship. How did your guys step up and secure this victory?
Well, we had a bunch of guys trust their training. The offense came through after a couple weeks of really being non-existent. They came through big time, and then obviously the defense got some stops, which was big, and the offense turned them into points.
What was the key defensively for you guys? You're facing the second best rushing offense in the country. You hold them to below 200 yards below their season average. How did you get it done?
Well, our defensive staff had a great plan. In my opinion, we've got the best defensive coordinator in America, and Todd Orlando. Craig Niver, Oscar Giles, and Jason Washington had a great plan. They stuck to the plan, and the plan worked.
Offensively, you get your quarterback back, Greg Ward Jr. How different is this offense when he's on the field?
Well, it's a lot different. He's the best athlete on the field most games, and he's a playmaker, and we love having him.
Your first season here in Houston, what does it mean to be going to the American Conference Championship game?
Well, it means we still got our goal in front of us, and that's what we set out to do, was to play for and win our conference, and we got one more chance to do that.
Thank you. Good luck navigating these fans.
Thank you.
All right, Allison, good stuff. And a celebration for the Cougars of Houston. What a win against Navy. For our producer, Brian Yarrow, our director, Craven Martin, for Mac Brown, for Allison Williams, and our entire crew, Dave Fleming, saying so long. Now, John Saunders with our college football countdown presented by Nissan in studio.